I will talk about something that I think will interest each and every one of us, and that is paradise. You have to first want Jannah. It is pointless to pursue something that you don't want. When I say you want Jannah, this means that you really want Jannah, and not because somebody told you to want Jannah. So that the motivation comes from within and not from something outside. The reason for that is that if motivation comes from yourself, then whatever happens, you will still want that thing. That desire for Jannah has to be from yourself, so that the motivation will be, inshallah, constant. Sometimes wanting Jannah is enough. In a hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, once he was with his companions, and he was telling the companions about a group of people who will enter Jannah without any accountability, without any judgment, without any hisab. What's hisab in English?
Reckoning?
Reckoning. Yes, without any reckoning whatsoever, this group will enter Jannah immediately. Just as the Prophet ﷺ explaining this to the Sahaba, one Sahaba by the name of Rukash immediately raised his hand and says, Ya Rasulullah, make me one of that people. And the Prophet says, you are one of them. And the other companions, one of the companions, when he saw this, he was like, oh, I have to get into this. This is a good deal. And he got up, he says, Ya Rasulullah, make me one of them too. And the Prophet says, sorry, Rukash beat you to it.
Sorry, Bob.
So, subhanallah, sometimes wanting Jannah is enough. And you can imagine in the gathering of companions, he was the first to got up. It's no argument that all companions want Jannah. But out of all those people, only he was the only one who was fast enough to ask the Prophet to make him one of those group, one of that group. To give you a comparison of how much we should want Jannah, imagine yourself just finished running a marathon, and after that very long run, somebody offered you a very nice cold beverage, a cold nice drink on a very hot day. You wouldn't think twice. You would grab that drink, say thank you, Bismillah, and just drink. Hopefully you say Bismillah.
And say thank you, you know.
Yeah, thank you. But you will not think twice. You will not think, do I really want this thing? No, it's just instinct. The desire is so strong that you don't even have to think about it. You just take it. Now the desire for Jannah should be more than that. So that whenever a verse of the Quran or whenever a hadith talks about Jannah, it should move you. It should, you should feel like this is my future home, inshallah. And when you ask Allah for Jannah, hopefully you will not ask Allah for just Jannah, but ask Allah for the highest of Jannah. Ask Allah for Jannatul Firdaus. Because the Prophet ﷺ says again, when you ask Allah for Jannah, don't just ask for Jannah. This is what the Prophet said. Don't just ask for Jannah, but ask for Jannatul Firdaus. The Prophet didn't specify, all the righteous people, this is what you ask for. Just ask for Jannatul Firdaus. All the not so righteous people, Jannatul Firdaus, forget about it. No. The Prophet says to all Muslims, whatever level of Iman you think you are on, ask Allah for Jannatul Firdaus. When you aim for something that high, your effort will be close or that high as well. You will not ask for 4.0 GPA and just sleep all day. So if you ask Allah for Jannatul Firdaus, your effort will reflect your desire for Jannatul Firdaus. Don't think that, I'm too bad. Because in another hadith, the Prophet says, every son of Adam is a sinner. Every son of Adam is a sinner, but the best of all the sinners is the one who repent. Is the one who repent. A man came to Imam Suhaib Web, and he said to the Imam, "Ya Imam, I feel I'm so bad. I feel like I'm so far away from Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. I feel so far from Allah Subhanahu wa Taala." So Imam Suhaib Web just answered him back with just one question. He said, "Who moved? You feel you're far away from Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, but the question is, who moved? You or Allah?" Because we know that if we go to Allah walking, Allah will come to us running. if we go to Allah this much, Allah will come to us further, more. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves the people who returns to Him. And this verse encapsulates that. This one is from Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 186, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذا سلك عبادي عني فإني قريب أجيب دعوة الداع إذا دعان فليستجيبوا لي وليؤمنوا بي لعلهم يرشدون. And when my servants ask you, you as in the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so Allah is talking to Prophet Muhammad now. And when my servants ask you about me, okay, in this just first thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Allah says when, and when my servant asks you about me. Allah didn't say if my servant asks you about me. What's the difference between when and if? When signifies, it shows that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala expects people to ask. If shows that it's 50-50. Maybe, maybe not. This shows that Allah is anticipating you, anticipating the Muslims, the people, to ask about Him. And so when my servants ask you about me, usually when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks like this, in this pattern, usually Allah will say to the Prophet, Qul, say to them this. But in this particular verse, Allah did not use that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly answered the question. So Allah says, when my servant asks you about me, then I am near. Allah did not say, when my servant asks you about me, Qul, say to them, then I am near. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bypass, quote unquote, bypass the Prophet and answer the person who's asking directly. This shows that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very close. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, He wants to answer the person who is calling Himself. And He uses in this verse the pronoun me and not us. Usually Allah uses us as the royal pronoun, us, to show majesty, to show power. But in this verse, Allah used me. When my servants ask you about me, then I am near. Just one part of the verse talks a lot about how close Allah to us and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very ready to become close to us if we are ready to come close to Him. In a hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that everyone in my ummah will enter Jannah except those who refuse. And when the Prophet says this, imagine this. The Prophet says, everyone will enter Jannah except those who refuse. Imagine you were the companions at the time, hearing this for the first time. You will be in shock. You will be confused. Like, who in the world would refuse Jannah? This is something that they couldn't comprehend, people refusing Jannah. So the Prophet answered, he said, whoever obeys me, whoever stays true to the Sunnah, they will enter Jannah. Whoever disobeys me, they will not. They are the one who refuses. So in working for Jannah, in working to attain Jannah, stay true to the Quran and the Sunnah. That is a very common thing you hear every day. Quran and Sunnah, Quran and Sunnah. But I'm asking you, like, really stay true to the Quran and Sunnah, because at times it's not easy. At times it's not easy. But when things get rough, that is when you are truly tested. That is when your desire for Jannah will truly shine.